Welcome. Part 2 of the ENGINE9000 debugger video series. We started where we left off with the Neo Geo. Not much new in the Neo Geo. There's a whole bunch of new debugging features, but the main thing is we've got core options now. It's not a heap of core options for this core, but they're all there. But the big thing is we now support the Amiga. So switch to the Amiga. Now the Amiga has a whole bunch of core options compared to the Neo Geo. These are all provided by the PUAE libretro core that I based this on, which seems pretty good. I had to make a couple of little fixes around state restoration, but apart from that the core seems pretty solid. This lets us change the model. We select which model we want to run, or whether or not we want to do turbo floppy, for example. So let's head into some Metro Seeds action to demo some of the stuff we've got. Just fast forward through all this boring stuff and we'll go straight into the game. Okay, so we've got a couple of little new buttons here. So we've got this is a standard UA DMA debugger. We can we can pick different DMA debugger options. We've also got this custom chipset debug dialog that I created just as a sort of placeholder to see what sort of things we might be able to do. So for example, we can turn off sprites individually, or turn off individual bit planes, turn off audio channels, or we could disable the blitter. Now, the thing about all of these is they don't actually disable it sort of by changing the registers, they disable it at an emulation layer. So if we disable the blitter, the blitter's still emulating, it's just not the final step of writing out to chip ram's not going to happen. So that's kind of useful if you want to, if your blitter's trashing something and I can still run the game, the game is still running in the background. But those blits would have been disabled. So lots of room to add some cool features there. Let's have a look at the debugger now though. What we're going to demo is debugging a system-friendly program. We can still debug bootloaders and stuff, but we'll start with a system-friendly one. So we're saying that this is the UAE file that basically just tells it the hard drive folder. This is the exe, so this is a Amiga hunk compiled with bebbo's GCC with full optimization and f-emit frame pointer, but it's got -G. This tells us we're using the bebbo toolchain. So let's dive in. It's an A1200 with a hard drive folder image for the hard drive, and on that hard drive is that files. So what I'm going to do is, now the problem with the Amiga is the Amiga's got relocation, so when Workbench loads this program, it's going to be at some random address. So rather than getting Workbench to load it, I've got a special program I wrote called ENGINE9000, and this is going to load it, the same as it just uses the standard load thing, but it also parses the file to find out where the hunks are, and it's going to tell the debugger where each of my sections are, so it knows how to debug. So yeah, that's loaded that and it's now running. You can see it's spitting out a whole bunch of stuff. This is coming from the app. So one of the features I've added is a special peripheral where if you write bytes to that, it sprints it out to the console. So this program is actually writing this debug info out here. But I'm going to pause. Let's switch to C, and we're going to pick fun, and let's put a breakpoint in here. See, we've broken. We can hover over to see variables, globals, locals, etc. We can print variables, so we can print for example, that's a global, or we could print locals. We can do standard stepping, so step would step in, next would step over. This is the machine code instruction stepping, assembly stepping. global variables, even if we go back to this fun, we can change to main and we can view the state of global variables. That's just hovering, or we can use the command line print. We can see here we can control our breakpoints, enable or disable, so we could disable them all and run. And then let's re-enable one of these. I don't know which one that was. Yep. And hit this breakpoint. Yeah, so that's about it. So just one thing that you need to be aware of, if anyone actually ever uses this, is that it does rely on some fixes that I've made to the bebbo's toolchain, which are currently only in the Amiga ports repo. So I'll put some links in the comments about where to get that. It's just it uses, for the Amiga toolchain, it uses addr to text, addr to line, which didn't quite work properly with optimized code on the default bebbo repo, so I made a couple of little fixes there. But other than that, look forward to the next video.